Here
Oh,
we
hey.
are.
I never know when we're on.
I know. I think it has a little bit of a delay.
I
So,
uh
hello. Yes,
I just don't
hello to all our internet people. Those who are watching us now, welcome and thank you. For those watching the replay, welcome and thank you. Much appreciated. And so, Jen,
yes.
you've been making some t-shirt quilts?
Actually I finished one yesterday. I didn't I didn't take a picture of it, but it was exactly like the one I made last week. No, but it I love the pattern. It's the second time I've used it and I just love it. You know, the T's were diagonal.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
easy, so easy. I love to do it. I'll make many more. It's quick and
Now, I don't have that pattern, but I have tried to make that on my own,
you
and
asked
it's
me
not that
for it.
easy.
You asked
Yeah,
me
I did
for it
ask
last
you for
week
that.
and I have not sent it to you, but it's really not hard at all. And for me to say that, it has to be very easy. It took me a
When
minute
I
to figure it out.
what I get confused about is the how much fabric at the angle at the top and each side.
Well,
Like, so in the corner, how much of the like solid fabric is there?
about an inch. And then on the opposite corner, it's an inch. So that's how I can. That's a very good
No,
question.
but so like it goes, what's the widest part of the like the border fabric, and then how low does it go?
I
Like
don't know about the widest part because all I measure is the smaller, the wedge, the smaller wedge, the smaller end
the
of the wedge
smallest part. Once it's all done, the smallest part of the wedge is an inch.
on each
Okay.
corner. But let me tell you what the most important thing is. And I just happen to have, and this is what it called for, a 16 by 16 template. And that's what you need to. And so, and it had an X. I marked it myself. And so I can put it right in the center of the X on the center of and that helps tremendously. And then I can measure each corner and it comes out. The first quilt, one or two of them were not quite right, weren't angled enough, but then I got the hang of it and I'm glad I could share that with you.
Yay. Well, remember I asked you about if I had accidentally given you my 16-inch template because I couldn't find mine. And I thought maybe I had slipped it when I gave all yours back to you. I thought I accidentally had slipped it in
Okay,
there, but
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't remember what size you had asked for, and I was going to ask you on Sunday. Oh, now we have an issue.
hey, Zaza. No, I found it. I found it.
Oh, so we each have one?
Well, let me measure mine. I have it right here.
Well, I'm glad you don't need mine.
No, 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 no. So I have it all. It's 16 and a half.
Did you buy it or did you have it cut?
I had it cut. I went to the glass store and I also have it 13 by 13 marked out.
Ah,
But the whole thing is a 16 and a half.
oh, so we're good. But look, that's exactly what you need for that pattern, and that is it. It's easy as can be.
This is a huge 16 and a half is big.
Well, this I think it calls for 16 by 16, but yes, it is
It,
big. And the pattern did note that it does take more material. Like I showed you the leftover wedges that I had that you cut off. It's pretty significant. But for the ease of the
okay.
pattern and the time, that it takes, it's worth the material for me to make it
So the
quickly.
other, could you, in making that what I call a wonky block,
Yeah.
um, could you put like let's say a 4-inch strip all the way around it and then just cut off, make it wonky?
Yes, probably so. I do have another pattern that I've been looking for that does the exact same thing, and it may use less material than that one, but I haven't found it yet. I'm sure it's around somewhere.
Because
Or
even
you
though
could
we
look
don't like to
online.
waste fabric, that might be an easy thing to do.
Well, I showed you what I was sewing the wedges together to make something with it. You said
Oh,
it
that's
would
right.
be, you said it would be a cute skirt. I said, what can I do with this? I wish I had
Oh
it
my
to
God.
show. Well, I
It
do
didn't
have,
even register me that those were the wedges you were talking about.
this is one of them I just happen to have. So, it's a pretty good size. And so each side or two sides have this extra fabric cut off. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 4 sides.
Well,
So
couldn't you
that's a
just
lot of
use that
fabric.
to make a different t-shirt quilt?
Yes, if I were very creative. But luckily I have a daughter that is. Yeah, yeah, I could. I could just sew them onto the tees. A brilliant idea there. I was just sewing them together because it was fun. It's just so mindless.
Yes. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Looks like we just had a couple other people join us. We haven't really started on our topic today, which Miss Mary was supposed to join us, and I thought she sent me an email and I can't find it. So Miss Mary, if you are here and you sent me an email, I am so sorry. I looked all over for it to have you on tonight and I can't find it. And so I even went back to the last t-shirt quilt that we went to, so I know your full name and your YouTube channel, but I couldn't find an email address. And so sincerest apologies. I fully intended to have you here with us. Um yeah, so I'm so sorry about that. Um so Jennifer and I were kind of been slacking a little. I'll go ahead and tattle on us. I don't know if slacking is the right word. What we thought we would do was, and I think this was my original intent, was to go back over the T-shirt Quilt Tuesday that we did for the month of, was it April when we did T-shirt Quilt Tuesday every week? Yeah, so that we thought we would go back over the original week 1 presentation, which includes all of the answered the FAQs, so the frequently asked questions and the basics of t-shirt quilting. So with that, look how easy that is. Welcome to T-shirt Quilt Tuesday.
Those are nice colors.
Those are our brand colors.
Pretty, pretty. I like it.
Yeah, I like that slide. I was being very creative when I made that.
Can I use that for when I do the Vermilion Parish updates on Friday to promote our
I
business?
we can together make some thumbnails in Canva and I can make several of them for you.
Thank you, because I never know what to do about that. I
Yes.
just,
Hey Judy.
hey, Judy.
We Judy, in an effort to not be ridiculously creative, we're gonna go over the week 1 from T-shirt Quilt Tuesday. And I know, Miss Judy, you've been here from the beginning, and so please feel free to interrupt. Let's have good conversation about T-shirt quilts. And I don't know who else is on. It looks like Zaza and Judy. Um, And so please interrupt if you have questions or want to discuss in full something.
Yes, and we'll have questions also because I always find that I get very good information from our viewers. I always go away with something learned.
So this is funny that I have the definition of a quilt here. What is a quilt? You have to have 3 layers, the top, the middle, and the bottom. And I think this is funny because this has come up multiple times recently with me and with you and on here and out in the public about, is a wall hanging even a quilt? Because it has 3 layers.
Yeah, I asked that question last week before we even did the video. We were having that discussion about your wall
Yes,
hangings.
yes. And so lots of people refer to t-shirt quilts as blankets or just quilts in general, but specifically with I had somebody earlier this week. Um, so I will be switching jobs, and the person that I'm currently working with, who wants me to make a t-shirt blanket. She said, "Oh, and I still want you to make that blanket for me." And I was thinking, I don't make blankets, but
Oh,
I
I
answered
know.
with full grace
I
and
know.
said, "Oh, of course, we'll still be around. Do you have my number? Just give me a call." But I did not correct her because I was being graceful like that.
Yes, yes, very good,
But
very
yes,
good. Good for business.
yes. Well, and in my life, I try to not be snarky and snappy, but I can't help it sometimes. But
Yes,
lots of times I can.
yes.
I want
Yeah,
to carry myself with grace as a good
yes.
Southern lady.
We need to work on that, don't we?
Well, sometimes it's not easy.
Oh, no.
Um,
Oh, yes,
right,
indeed.
exactly, Zaza. If they're
Yes,
paying for it,
indeed.
they can call it whatever they want.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so these are just the key features. What are the parts of a t-shirt quilt? You have obviously the t-shirts, the batting, the backing, and you have to quilt it, but also stabilizing, interfacing, which is, some people like it, some people don't. Sashing and borders, it depends on what you're doing. So that's a
Okay.
maybe.
We're going through each one of these. Can I ask some questions now, or do I need to wait till the end?
Ask away.
I feel
No,
like I'm
let's
at
have conversation.
at a convention. Um, so do some people in our audience or know of people who combine t-shirts with cotton fabric in one quilt, like for the top? So, besides batting, I mean, besides sashing and borders, have you
I'm
done
sorry.
that?
I'm apologies. I was laughing at Zaza's comment and I forgot to listen.
Do you combine regular cotton fabric with your t-shirt quilt sometimes? And I'm not talking about borders or sashing. Just like a block that would be, a traditional quilt block
So
with cotton.
so yeah, so depending on the pattern, you like if you remember the ones that are on the angle, um not the angle, on the diagonal, um I would use regular fabric in there. Since I've been using the back of all the sleeves and the different parts of the t-shirts, I don't do that as much anymore. But I have done one of the quilts I did for a dad who's he loved Family Guy, the cartoon Family Guy. And so he passed away, and I made a quilt for his daughter. And so I bought some Family Guy fabric to put in there. Like it wasn't one of his shirts, but it was, in memory of him, and she absolutely loved that.
Yeah, you that just reminded me that I think I've done a quilt like that where I had just a handful of tees, and to make it even a lap size, I added
Mhm.
pictures
Yeah.
that she gave me, a couple of pictures that I printed on fabric and added to that, and it came out really well.
Yeah, and using like different novelty fabric, I guess is what I should have
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
which is themed or even the Saints quilts,
right. That's
using
true.
like
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean
Zaza's seen it on YouTube.
um yeah, there's I mean uh, that and I've said this before, that's the beauty of the t-shirt quilting is even quilting in general, there's no wrong answer. Like if it works and you could square it up and quilt it, what's the problem? You know,
I just love how everybody's being so creative. I wonder how my mom, your grandmother, would feel about all that today. I would love to have a conversation with her about that because she did just traditional
Well,
quilting.
I think she had like 2 or 3 different quilts that she made. But in hindsight, because of the way she had to create her patterns, I wouldn't want to make a bunch of different patterns. I mean, she had to cut out the little sandpaper pieces. Her
Templates.
quilts had
Yeah.
basically 2 or 3 pieces. That was it. Different shapes. I mean,
Well, it's why I never wanted to quilt, seeing her go through all that and how precise she had to be. I think she'd be horrified at the t-shirt quilts. How
oh,
easy.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Not horrified, but like kind of smug about it. Like,
Absolutely. It's not a real quilt.
yeah.
Not enough piecing.
But we have so many t-shirts today. T-shirts are so popular. I think that's been a big part of why they're so popular.
Mhm. I love that, Zaza, those old quilts that are true scrap quilts. True scrap fabric from clothing and rice sacks and flour sacks and all the things, not just, like we purchase quilting cotton and if we have left over, we call it scrap. But really these were scraps from, like you said, from dressing, trousers, all of it.
Oh, I bet that was beautiful. Mama didn't have any of that, so that's probably why she didn't do it. But I bet a lot of people did it. I hadn't thought about that. Just using all kind of fine materials and wools, and that must have been
Mhm.
beautiful.
So the advertisement for the t-shirt quilt blanket people who mass produce these oh, hey Lisa, I didn't realize you had popped in. I didn't see that. um and so it says, send us your t-shirts and save the landfills and put people who need jobs to work for an hour per quilt. An hour? What? I'm thinking how much time and energy I put into a t-shirt quilt,
Are they
and
saying
they're
it takes an
advertising
hour? Are they saying it's
per
at?
person, I guess. I guess it depends on how they're doing it, but it just struck me as, send it to our factory and these people will get it done, and it's a living wage for 2 hours for this person. And I was like, "Oh, there's so much wrong with that." Especially if it's a memory quilt, somebody who's passed away and you're sending your clothes. I don't want it, and it's the words factory. Like, I don't want to send my stuff to a factory.
Well, and a lot of people use them. I've had local people say that they send them off at least 5 or 6. Just
Yes.
local people. I'm like, what? What? When there are so
That's
many
like
women or so many people that quilt in this area.
the one of the memory quilts, most recent memory. Well, no, it was her college. It was the Tri Sigma quilt. When I gave it back to her, she said, um, yeah, that's what it is. Um, y'all are
Absolutely.
awesome.
I agree. I'm taking a break.
Um, so she said her the grief group that she goes to, someone in the group was telling them to send them there, and it is a blanket. It is not quilted. It is a blanket. They basically cut the t-shirts into squares, sew them together, and put a backing on them, and they don't quilt them. And I forgot how much it was, but it was So when she got hers, I think she was expecting that to come back, and so when she saw hers, she was just blown away.
Hey,
Hi,
Jess.
Jess. Um, yeah, Zaza, and I have a lot of people say, I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying that it's not the kind of money I want to spend on it. And then you have other people saying, I don't care how much it costs, this is what I want. So,
Well, and I can't
um,
remember, but I remember emailing them when I first saw that ad a few years ago, and I said, that's not really a quilt. And I don't know if they're still calling them quilts, but back then they were. Maybe they've
they
corrected that.
use the word quilt and blanket interchangeably. Yeah,
That was my issue also.
yeah, yeah. So anyway,
And
lots of reasons.
yeah, but they
Lots
do
of
mass.
people want them.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah, and if they don't know, people don't know where to look, and they see the ad, then they'll use them.
Yeah.
This is always a question that people will ask when they come in.
Hey,
Hey,
Sally.
hey, Shelley.
So we are reviewing all of the frequently asked questions, but obviously, lots of the people that I recognize on here have been through this before. So if you have a question or want to talk about something different, please feel free to interrupt and shoot it. We're just kind of using them as conversation starters, if you will. So please feel free to jump in and ask questions or make comments. Um, so I recently posted a short on YouTube of the quilt that you have at your shop with just one t-shirt on it. It was behind me. I was like, I mean, technically one.
Which one is that? I don't
Shelly's
remember.
quilt with Shelly's quilt. It's
Oh,
pink and
yes.
purple. Yeah,
Yes,
it's so cute.
it
Just
is.
one
Everybody,
t-shirt in the middle and then just a bunch of blocks around it, and it's precious.
it is very pretty. It was done for a cancer survivor, I think.
Yeah.
And a lot of people commented. I need to. It's out in the corner. I need to probably put it out where people can see it.
Well, it's hanging.
Yeah.
It's on the wall.
Hmm. The
Yeah,
colors are good.
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's a really like the other problem that people have, or they think they have way too many shirts, and I've never had somebody come in with too many.
Oh dear, I have containers, 2 or 3 containers, big containers, and it's kind of overwhelming,
Yeah.
especially if it's just for one quilt. I have two trash bags of quilts of t-shirts right now, but they're for 2 quilts, so that's not so bad. But
Maybe.
we've had to get really creative about, like, I've had one that was 5 polo shirts. That stretched my brain. In fact, you advised me not to do it.
I did.
Don't
Because
do that.
that's the only fabric that I've ever had trouble quilting.
Yeah, and that one did not for some reason, and I was worried about that too. I was expecting big issues, but it came out okay. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it at all, and she liked it. So I've done. What's the least you've done? The least number of teas that you've used?
I mean, people have always brought at least 20. Like I've never
Yeah,
had an issue with not enough of them.
yeah,
No,
yeah. That's
I'm lying. I did. There was one lady that had she sent me a lot of shirts, but they were all very thin, and they were like little tank tops, and so it was really hard to get enough cutting around the stuff. So I did use a lot of fabric borders and different things in there to make it stretch. And I told her that I was going to have to do that because I didn't have enough t-shirt fabric to work with. Um, Yeah, Zaza, I usually start when people bring me t-shirts for a quilt. And I don't know, Mom, if you do this, but I've always asked them, you know, which ones do you want me to use first? Like, what are the ones that absolutely have to be in there? And I'll have them mark keep those separate and make sure that those go in, and then use the rest for filler. And then sometimes they'll say, make sure all of them get in there. So you cut the design as close as you can just to get as much fill as you can. And other times, I've given shirts back and said I didn't use them, and I didn't want to cut them if I was just going to use a small piece of it. So,
I have, you reminded me that I had one t-shirt quilt. It was for a daughter in college. And when I sent her, I had put the top together and I sent the mother a picture and she asked me to take one of them out and put another one in that I had not put in because
oh, really?
I had not asked that question. And it wasn't a big deal, but I had to do
Yeah.
that. So I should ask that question.
Yeah. And the reason I started asking it, I think, is because someone, when they were bringing their shirts, they told me that. And so then after that, I just started asking people. Um,
That's
yeah.
the quilt. One, it was. I made three of them. Two sisters and a friend of theirs. They were all going to college, and they were in college, and it was their college T-shirts. And one of them, they brought it back because I had left a pin in it.
Ah, like inside.
Inside, yes, and I had to undo a little side at the sashing and pull it out, which wasn't a big deal, but they didn't want to fool with it, which could be a
Oh my God,
dangerous
that is so
thing.
funny.
I know, but
Has
leaving a pin
anybody
in.
else ever done that?
Oh gosh, it could be bad. They could have gotten stuck with that pin.
In the eye.
Oh,
That's funny.
I'm trying. I'm careful now because I think it happened in my quilt when I was quilting it. Maybe I don't know how it happened. Anyway,
Zaza, I don't know. I'm not aware that I've done it. I might have. She said, "Yep."
you know how loose I am with needles and
Oh,
pins
pins.
and
She got
needles.
pins everywhere.
I used to have
So
a
both
magnet.
sides. Lisa, that is a great question. Jennifer has done that.
Oh gosh, only once,
Both
and it's not.
sides.
It was hard to do. I thought. I was thinking about it the other day if I'd ever try it again. It was, I guess, when I first started making them, and it was already a hard thing for me to do, make a t-shirt quilt. So, and that was added stress. But I know several people that do it. Our cousin
Yeah.
Annette does it, has done it quite often. That uses up a lot of quilts. But then when you price it, that's an interesting thing too. If you're selling it, do you charge double or a little less, or how do you price that?
Yeah, and I think we're coming from the perspective of we make them to sell, like people bring us stuff. But if you are making your own for your own quilt, with your for your family member or yourself, I could see how that would definitely be you have all these shirts to make too if you're making it for yourself. But to sell it, it's like making two different quilts.
It is. It is. And I had to negotiate, I think, with the person that I made that one for, and it was already big and it was two sided. But I think Annette quilted it for me at that point.
Hmm. One bloody pin. Oh yeah, he's gonna keep reminding you forever.
I know they never forget those things.
So interfacing, um, I say I prefer interfacing, but it is not necessary. And I used to only use SF, the Pellon 101, SF 101. Um, but I have recently decided that I think it's too heavy, that I would like to use something much lighter. I don't know what's out there because I haven't made a quilt yet. but I think the quilt that I made was really heavy, like, after it was all said and done, and I thought, "Oh, I bet it would be better to use something that's lighter."
I used to use something very heavy, and I did it for years. And just recently, maybe less than a year, I've started using something very light. And I'm open to using different weights now, which I used to be, no,
Yes.
this works for me. I'm not veering off of, I'm not veering on any, any other brand. I was just afraid to try something new, but I'm very open now.
Yeah. Yes, I have always using the woven interfacing because, oh wait, no, is the woven one the non-stretchy kind, whichever one that is. Um, because that's the purpose of putting the interfacing on is to keep it from stretching.
Did you see that piece that I had when we were doing your dress, the interfacing for your dress? And I said, this came from you.
Mhm.
Do you remember what brand that is?
I think that was the Pellon.
That seemed like it was woven. Was that woven?
I'm drawing a yeah, woven is like fabric. Yes, yes.
That's what it
It's
looks
the
seemed to me.
yeah.
It wasn't that light though.
I think that was the SF-101. And for those of you who were with us last week and the week before, and we've been talking about our dresses, making the dresses, tomorrow night on our Wednesday live, we have updates on the dresses. Just throwing that out there. Um, I have made quilts without t-shirt quilts without the interfacing. Um, for the most part, I use it. I think I've made one maybe without it, or depending on some of the shirts didn't have it. Um, generally, I do like to use it because I think a lot of the shirts I get are thin, and depending on the fabric, I just like using it.
Why did you make a quilt without the interfacing?
Because I was listening to somebody online that said that it that it's against all the t-shirt quilt rules, and um she said that if you use interfacing, it's because you don't know what you're doing, and it's
Oh,
just being lazy.
oh.
She didn't use the word lazy, but that's what I felt. That's what my soul said. She called you lazy. And so, she didn't. She just says you don't have the right tools. Like, if you say it's hard, it's because 'cause you're not doing it right. Um, it's
but
just a
but
different experience. It feels different. I personally like the interfacing on it.
I'll go with Shelley on that. That it needs to be weighted. With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
interfacing, I'll give it weight. It doesn't. You can do a lighter heavy or or heavy heavy, but yeah,
I mean, there's so many variables, like the weight of
yeah,
the shirts themselves. If they're really worn shirts and you don't put interfacing, they are going to continue to wear, and that quilt's going to fall apart. You
yeah.
know that one quilt that I did. This lady, they were on boats, and so they were these skinny little tank tops that she wore on boats all the time. So the fabric had been in the sun and in the water and had been degraded, and there's no way I was gonna put those into a quilt without giving them some stability and
Somebody, yeah,
some body, yeah, because
yeah,
they
but
just wouldn't have lasted. There would have been a hole in them, in no time.
yeah. Zaza's saying that she doesn't like sewing stretchy fabric, and I think that's why a lot of people don't make t-shirt quilts
Yeah.
because it's just if you're used to using cotton and making traditional quilts or using cotton, it's so different to get used to that most people don't want to bother with it.
I have not.
I have just to
I
see if
don't
I
like
can.
quilt as you go.
It was when I was living in Oklahoma and I didn't have a frame, and I was getting to the point where I wanted to, see if I could quilt because I was doing it. I liked it because I could do free motion on the top, and then to put it together, I may, and it wasn't that bad. I kind of like doing it. I was thinking we should do a workshop on that one time.
I don't I think Shelley and I don't remember if it was Shelley or Kelly that did a beautiful quilt as you go, and I had to go at the quilt guild meeting, and I had to go up to her after and say, "Okay, talk to me about this because I don't like doing it because I don't understand it." Um and so yeah. Okay, Judy, you can't put that up there and then not tell.
I feel like I've missed something big. I'm gonna have to go
It must
back
have
and
been
see.
Kelly. Yeah. Um So we were talking about interfacing and things like that, and Judy was like, "I'm gonna keep my comments to myself." Girl, say it. I want to meet this Ruby chick,
Yeah.
right? Hey, we're all
Okay.
friends here. I'm not easily offended either, so feel free to comment. But again, like kind of going back to that, where the person believes that you should never use interfacing. Um, it just depends. There's so many variables, and I don't think that there's no ever any right or wrong. It could go either way, depending on the weight that you want. Like Shelly was saying, she likes a heavy quilt. Use heavy interfacing, heavy batting, and a heavy back on it, and you get a super duty, fun weighted blanket, versus somebody who just wants a little throw on the couch. Well, that's a different story.
Or how
So,
many combinations of those three? I mean, there are so many combinations of that.
yeah.
I just, again, all the t-shirts that are available, I just look at people at festivals and say, oh, look at that t-shirt. I need that t-shirt for a quilt. Or at our clothes closet, there are so many and they're only a quarter. Here we go again. Every Wednesday. I have so many. I have too many. Too many.
So, Judy, she might be cheap. I don't know. Her quilts are ridiculously expensive and they are beautiful in the pictures. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know what her deal is with all this. I would love to have her on the show. I've talked about it. Yeah, because I think there's so many variables. Like, I don't think that you should say anyone is right or wrong. Like, it's just we're all welcome. Um, She actually has, the same machine that I have and bought it from well, she's got a few of them. It's a big business, but, they, buy their quilting machines are serviced by the same guy who services mine, and, he'd agree also that they're amazing, like, the backs of them are just beautiful, like, the way they do the quilting and stuff. So, yeah.
I like Quilt as you go. Let's see who asked that question and see if she's done one. It's a little time consuming because sometimes you have to hand stitch it or you have to do it on the machine, which would be like doing like sewing your binding on the machine instead of hand stitching. It's that kind of choice.
Mhm.
But you can do it without a big quilting machine or a frame. You can, do free motion on your domestic machine. So it's easy for a lot of people at home.
So, Shelley, I am also a quilt snob. Um, kind of, but I love my weighted blankets. I think I need to make a duvet cover for it, like a quilted duvet cover for it. That way I can wash it and change it out. But I am a huge fan of a good weighted blanket.
Yeah, I'm gonna. As I was talking about a denim quilt, I wondered about that. So, do you put a batting? Do you put batting in a denim quilt? That's my question.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I put some in I made one denim quilt, and I think I did. I put some very thin batting, I want to say.
I have I have a container full of denim that I've been saving to make a denim quilt.
Are they big pieces?
Some of them are.
I love to put denim on the bottom of my bags.
Okay, yeah, I have plenty if you need some. So as I said, she puts batting in hers.
Yeah.
I would
'Cause it
too.
wouldn't be a quilt if it didn't have a sandwich.
Right.
You don't have to be the last question. You can add,
Oh, flannel would be good, yeah.
do you quilt it to death? I don't put a lot of quilting on my t-shirt quilts. Um, if they don't have interfacing on the shirts, that might be, um,
Or on the denim.
yeah.
Is she talking about denim? Yeah, you tend to do dense quilting or,
Only in the wall hangings.
oh, really?
Yeah, I do edge to edge on most of the, t-shirt quilts that I do, and they're not too dense.
I was thinking about that this week, really, because I'm doing free motion. So, but I was wondering what the proper, I don't know what it's called, inches or, per, when they recommend so many inches on the
So,
quilting
yeah,
apart.
and again, like, kinda going back to, who, Lisa said, depending on what you're gonna be using the quilt for and what you want it to look like, the more densely quilted it is, the heavier and thicker it'll be, and, like, it won't have movement.
Hmm.
So light quilting, it drapes nice and it's softer, and so when I do wall hangings, they're very densely quilted, um, but not so much cuddle on the couch. I call them the cuddle quilts. Speaking of cuddle,
Yes.
anybody uses cuddle for the back?
What is that?
That's that soft furry stuff that's in my nightmares.
Oh, no, I don't.
I'm not secure enough in my quilting abilities. I've
Oh, me.
done one and the lady brought me some fleece, and when I'm telling you it was horrible, horrible. It was not fun.
It seems to be hard on the machine too because it creates a
It
lot of
stretches.
fuzz.
You gotta be careful because then it'll bunch up and stretch, and I said, "Don't bring that back here." Uh,
It sheds, yeah, and I'm afraid it goes into the machine also. Not good for the machine, I would think. I'm trying
yeah,
to
I don't
clean out
know.
my machine more often. I don't know if it's here on the videos that we learned that I learned that, or I saw it on YouTube or something. How to clean it out quite often while I'm, during one project, which I used to do it afterwards, but now I'm doing it between. You know.
I think it was Colette said that she every time she, like, gets to the edge, she'll clean the bobbin out.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
I clean it out every time I, like, have to change the bobbin, which is depending on, like, 1 or 2 rows, depending on the size of the quilt.
But
Um,
she finds that any little thing can mess up the machine, and she's so busy she doesn't want to do. She has no room for downtime at all, so she goes the extra
yeah,
mile. She's got two machines going at the same time. She's
yeah.
my hero. I think if you had two machines, you'd be doing the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
God forbid.
Yeah, I would think, Lisa, it just depends on what you like. Now, the people that I bought my long arm from, um, they also had like all of the patterns that it comes with in the computerized system, all the edge to edges. They keep track of the size for each like quilting pattern. What is the best size for that to make sure that it lay, it's appropriate and it doesn't get too bunchy and so I thought that was kind of cool where they in the pattern book, where customers can look through and pick which pattern they want. They keep track of what sizes to use for different patterns.
So nice. So
Yeah,
organized. Our cousin's like
right?
that. Yeah. Annette has a book of all the quilts she's made and all the information that's needed. And oh gosh, I wish I could get there one day.
Shelley, I should have should have gotten something smaller. I just, I had the space, so why not fill it?
You were in the moment.
I convinced myself it's like when I make a decision that I need a new car, there's no turning back. And that's kind of what happened with the long arm. I just made a decision one day that I needed it, and that was it. There was no going. I mean, it was going to happen. So, um, well, obviously, you can use different size T-shirt squares in the same quilt. Um, I prefer to not use all the same size squares. To use all different. And again, that kind of goes back to if you have too many T-shirts and you want to use all of them, you're gonna cut them down as small as you can while still maintaining the integrity of the image. So they will all be different sizes and you just kind of put them all together. If you only have like 3 T-shirts and you want to keep them as big as possible, then, you can have a 16-inch square. Well, probably not because it wouldn't fit, but yeah.
Well, you've done quite a few that are very creative where you cut little pieces and then big pieces and rectangular and all the different shapes. That's very makes it very interesting, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a favorite pattern, and I think I have it on the coffee table. I'll get up in a minute and try to see if I can get the picture where it would use a 10 and a half and a 12 and a half, and they would put them, I don't know what the word is, diagonal to each other on each
Mhm.
row, so it looked good. And it
Yeah.
used plaid sashing. It was cute. I made one for Sarah like that. So it
Shelly, we
uses
have so many T-shirts. You tell us what you want, and we could probably provide you with the shirts you need.
you come to Gate on there 25 cents on Wednesday
Oh yeah,
afternoon. If Goodwill has them for $3.
that
And
feels so expensive. $3 per shirt.
yeah, because in Kaplan you can get them for 50 cents a t-shirt and here a quarter a t-shirt, which is not good for
Yeah.
me because I'll go every week and just load them up, get home and wash them, and it's just I'm so happy. Sometimes they're so good, they're long sleeve, nice, expensive t-shirts that I can't cut them. So I'll give them to a family member or a friend or something.
I had somebody give me some jeans. One of my cousins, um, give me a bunch of her old jeans, and they were too nice. Like I couldn't cut them. You know, I ended up giving them away. Where's the clothes closet, and where's the place in Kaplan, Mom?
Kaplan's on Main Street. It's a Christian based organization. It's like
On
a
Boulevard
small, it's a thrift store on Main Street. Yeah. And then in Gaydon, it's
at the church.
behind the Baptist church. Yep.
The one in Kaplan, is it on the boulevard, or are you talking about
The
that other
boulevard,
store that's
the
okay.
boulevard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So this week, I knew this was coming, so I actually yesterday or today, was watching YouTube, and because I'm a quilter and have all things quilty in my YouTube algorithm, I got I keep seeing these commercials for Hobbs, which is the batting I use already. I use the 80/20 Hobbs. Um, but so I get a lot of advertisements, and today I just happened to catch her say that this is a good one if you're making t-shirt quilts. And then I was like, "Wait, what?"
I've not heard that before.
No, so, and I didn't know which one she was talking about. So I'm gonna have to go back and look, or maybe send an email to see which one she's talking about and why they recommend a certain batting for t-shirt quilts.
Well, that'd be interesting. I've not seen that. Was that on the internet or on TV?
I was watching YouTube and it was a commercial that came on.
Interesting.
Bye, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks. Or Shelly, you can come by my shop and I will show you all the t-shirts I have. You can pick from those. I have different categories. I have one, they're destinations like Cozumel and, all those places like that are places in America that people have gone to and they get rid of the t-shirts. I have a few, what are the bikers? Harley Davidson t-shirts, patriotic t-shirts. It goes on and on. So just come by.
Frogs, like t-shirts.
Like
We
the
could
Frog
probably find some.
Festival. The Frog
I bet
Festival.
I have one, at least one.
Yeah, I do.
That's
Frog
funny.
Festival. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share because I have so many.
So, yeah, batting, I just use the same 80/20 batting that I use for any other quilt. But now I'm interested to see what Hobbs recommends for t-shirt quilts and why. Why they have a specific recommendation. So I'm going to be looking into that.
Was it Hobbs? It was
Yeah.
Hobbs. Oh, cool.
Hobbs, yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Interfacing, walking foot. I love I use the walking foot really. Even with the interfacing, they call it something different in the Genome. I don't know. There's a different name for it, but a walking foot basically
Why are you
is
using a
so
walking foot?
helpful because it doesn't make the fabric. It makes the fabric go through the top and the bottom evenly, and
When
it
you're
does not
quilting?
distort.
Not when you're
Not
quilting
no,
though.
not quilting. When you're sewing
Oh,
the t-shirts together. So, like, if
oh,
let's say you're not using interfacing, you're just 2 t-shirts back to back with no interfacing.
oh,
If you use
okay.
a walking foot,
Okay.
it helps to not distort the fabric.
Right. And I think they recommend it if you're doing free motion, like for a quilt as you go quilt, that you would use a walking foot also.
Mhm.
I didn't
It just
realize
helps feeds the bottom and the top layer evenly so that it doesn't, they both go through at the same time.
Yeah, I had a walking foot. I had two or three, but I didn't realize that they're specific to certain brands. So I was probably using the wrong walking foot for the wrong, for certain
Yeah.
machines. So I've always wanted to go back and do it.
Um, so my problem, Zaza, this is funny because if I sew too fast, the little hook that's on the back of the walking foot on my machine will come undone. So I have to be, and I'm sure it's because I'm not putting it on right. Like I don't think it's a Genome flaw. But I don't know what I'm doing, but if I go too fast, it'll come undone. So that's
Which was
my
a
thing. If anybody
problem.
else has a Genome and they have the same problem, let me know because it makes me laugh because all of a sudden it quits walking. It just does like
Well, your speed probably has something to do with it because remember when you were free motion before we were learning how to use my machine, doing free
I
motion,
was
and
going way too fast.
you could not slow down. You just could not slow down.
Well, and it's because when you're free motion, it's easier. You get in a rhythm. When you have to slow down, it's
Oh,
different.
I have learned I go very slow now.
So that's funny, Zaza. It might be the Janome. The way that the hook goes in, if it's not just exactly perfect and screwed tight enough, it comes out if I go too fast. But I know that it's me going too fast because it doesn't do it if I go at a normal speed. Um,
Well, this is a good
see,
question.
see, Zaza, she said she sews too fast. Me too. Um, I mean, again, once again, however you want.
Well, if you
See,
have
so
a
it's not
long,
just us, Zaza. Shelly, it happens to Shelly too. It's a fast thing. I think it just can't move that fast.
well,
Um,
if you have a long arm, is it even an issue?
no, we're talking about. Oh, we're still talking about the walking foot popping off. I
Oh,
don't use
okay.
my walking foot to quilt. We're talking about like just putting it together.
I know I have moved on to the
Well,
next question.
we're still in the conversation.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Now we're
This-
all on the same page. Let's go. What's the
okay,
best
thank
way
you.
to quilt a quilt? um, that there's no right or wrong answer. And so, y'all, these frequently asked questions are different different questions that I found on the internet. So it's true. Um, and so I'm not sure exactly what people would be asking here, but you could quilt a t-shirt quilt the exact same way that you quilt a regular quilt. Um, oh yeah, Shelly, she said she does use her walking foot to quilt. Yes, because it's thicker. That does make sense. Um, and so if you're using your domestic machine, you don't have a long arm or a quilting machine, yeah, I would, and you're just now, can you use a walking foot just to do straight lines then? I would imagine, or at
Oh, I
least
would
big
think,
waves,
yeah,
not like free motion.
yeah. I used to love when I first started quilting, stitching the ditch.
Hmm.
Just follow. Oh, that was so easy. I loved doing that.
And that's all Mama did. My grandma, your mama, she just when she did hand stitching, everything was stitch in the ditch.
I really like that. It follows the pattern,
Hmm.
and it's kind of hard with a t-shirt quilt because it's so big. You know, the blocks are big, and but you could do squares. I mean, parallel lines.
I can never remember, Zaza. I know they call it something different, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, so you can't do free motion, but you can do some basic straight stitching. Yeah, or deco stitches with the quilting foot. Yep. So another reason that we use interfacing is when we wash the t-shirt quilt in the washing machine, if it has that backing on it, it provides stability and the shirts don't fall apart and wear. So for thinner worn shirts, like men's shirts, especially for a memory quilt, if you're using men's shirts that have been in the sun and worn a lot, or yeah, that's why I put interfacing on so that they can wash the machines. I mean, wash the quilts in the washing machine. Yeah. When I'm using my regular Janome just to do like smaller projects, I generally just do straight. I don't like to free motion on my little one. Like it make it. Ugh,
Hey, do you have a crosshatch pattern on your long arm, like the computerized
I'm
design?
sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like,
I like that
yeah.
pattern.
You know what I've also learned how to do? I have the cheeky quilters saved as in the memory of my as a decorative stitch. And so sometimes I will sneak in a the cheeky quilter in the middle of all my other in my other stitches.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah. In fact, look, it's on actually on this bag right here that I have. Let's see if I can find it. So it's done in variegated thread. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but like, let's see right here. See where it says the cheeky quilters? So yes, you can wash the t-shirt quilt in the washing machine. It gets really heavy and big though. So, all the normal tools and supplies for quilting. And also, let's face it, you're gonna need a seam ripper.
A good one.
Yeah, I have like 5 of them. They're everywhere.
What's your favorite? Do you have one that's really good?
Yeah. Actually, you know the little cheap ones with the blue?
Uh-huh.
These?
Yes. Yes.
That's my favorite. It's
Really?
so much sharper. But I like this one because it's ergonomic and easier to use, and I keep it handy. Um, but I have this one I inherited from somebody. That's not my name on it, but I use this one a lot because it's sharp.
Do you find that they get dull and
Like
that you have to replace it with a new one?
I've had
I
it a
was
while.
I was thinking about that.
And this one hangs on my machine, so I use this one at my machine. I move this one around, and then in my long arm stack of randomness, I have 2 more in there. Oh, Jennifer has the scalpel. Do you like it?
I like it, but something went wrong with mine. The blade fell off, like it's not the screw is not long enough to hold it in. Sometimes I hold it when I really need a sharp because it's the sharpest of all the rippers that I
Yeah,
have.
and hey Sherry. Um, we were just talking about different frequently asked questions about t-shirt quilts. Now we're talking about seam rippers. And how you ended up with the scalpel one is that I went to a quilting store and said, "What's the best seam ripper?" And they gave me that one and I gave it to you to try out.
I like it. I need to replace it.
I got it at A&A.
I figured that.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, so more just random quilt supplies. The walking foot, the ballpoint needle, is to make it easier. I guess it doesn't pierce the fabric, the knit fabric. It goes between the the fabrics. Oh, and that was the last slide. I don't know what the eyebrow blade thing is. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, writing it down.
Jen has lots of notes.
If I could only find them when I need them.
If only. Y'all, the funny part is that I have notes. I have like 4 or 5 different notebooks that I take notes in, and I can't remember sometimes which notebook it's in. So I have like all of them with me all the time.
Oh, Jesus. I don't always
Um,
use a ballpoint needle.
I don't either because I put interfacing, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So any other questions before we wrap it up?
Hope it wasn't too repetitive.
No. Well, no, I think it was good conversation though. We had lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
And so Jennifer and I are in discussions about whether we're going to continue the T-shirt Quilt Tuesdays or not, or if we want to change it up or what we're going to do. And so we'll keep you guys updated. I need a house purse. I don't know what that means.
Thank you,
Yay,
Shelley.
Shelly. I know we're glad that you were here for the whole time too. So yeah, we will keep you guys updated on the T-shirt Quilt Tuesday and what we're going to do about that. I'm actually starting a new job coming up, and so I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to be overwhelmed. And so we'll see how that goes. I think originally we had kind of talked about rotating all of the because we have like 5 or 6 lessons within the T-shirt Quilt Tuesday, the original that we did. And I think we had talked about rotating those. We did week 1 today, the frequently asked questions, and so we'll have a conversation and let everybody know.
And then we can still try to find someone to, co-host with you to show what they've done. Someone that does a lot of T-shirt quilts. I'd like to see a lot of different kinds. It's always inspiring to me.
Oh, thank you, Zaza. I'm going to a hospital, so I'm not going to be on the road anymore. I'm going to be in a hospital from 8 to 4:30 every day. So I might be exhausted, or I might be better because I'm not driving around all day every day. I'm not
We'll
sure.
see. We'll monitor that.
Yes, yes. So, all right, guys. Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. It really helps out. We appreciate it. And keep in touch. And we will be live tomorrow night, starting at this time, whatever time it is at your house right now.
At
It's 7
7.
o'clock at our house,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
we will be on tomorrow at this time, and we have sneak peek. I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek.
It's
And that's all
very
we get.
cute. It's very cute.
It is cute. So, yes, we'll see you guys tomorrow night and have a fabulous evening. Peace out. Let's see if
And
it'll
thanks
let me finish this time.
and thanks again,
Bye.
y'all. Shelley saw a bit